Hi, I'm Rachel Mejia. I'm gonna give a little video on things I'll do for my plantar fasciitis. So I have people in class, I teach exercise class, and I have people ask me about what they could do for their foot pain. And believe me, I know where you're at because I have plantar fasciitis in both my feet. I fractured the outside of this right foot, and the left foot was already hurting, so it got worse as it was hopping around in crutches. So let's start with, first thing I like to do is your foot pain can be related to your calf being tight. So one thing I'll do, I just got the couch out so I can show you, is I foam roll my calves. So I don't find it too easy to do on the floor because I feel like I got to do a lot of work, and then it's like now I'm going to feel my shoulders. So I'm just going to kind of run you through what I would do. Generally, I'll sit here for a while and sit on my couch, roll out my calves. All right, and I'll dig in, and this way I can relax back into it and move my feet around. So I'm gonna close that up. All right, and I'll do it on the floor too. So the idea is rolling those calves out. So let's try that. We're actually gonna do it. I'll do it real time right now, and I'll just show you on the floor so you can see what I'm doing. We want to shear the muscle. So we're kind of go on up the mid calf, hit the whole thing, and the outside of ankle as well. Going up and down here. Now I like a lot of pressure, so I have this little foam roller, and like I said, I'll just really rock it back and forth. We're going to do about 20 more seconds here, and I'll run you through some of the other things. So we're starting with the calves, all right? And now, generally, like I said, I like a smaller foam roller. I don't like too soft for this because too soft you're not gonna feel much. All right, let's switch the leg, okay? So same deal, rolling the calf out. Oh, there goes the golf ball, up to the outside of the ankle. So if you fractured or if you have any issues with your ankles too, definitely this foam rolling will help. And generally you foam roll and then you do some sort of movement. So maybe stretching or whatnot. I'm just gonna foam roll for the video, and you can do some movement afterwards. So let's do about 20 more seconds. Ideally, I'm looking for a tough spot. So actually, I'm gonna hold in a tough spot there. So find your tough spot, wherever you feel the most tenderness, and let's hold. Gonna breathe into it. Breathing is magic. And while I have that calf muscle pinned down, or that one part that's really tight, I like to move things because there's muscles under muscles. All right, let's hit the other side. If you had a specific spot, you stay there. Like I said, for the purposes of the video, I'll just keep it a little shorter. But it takes time to recover, so it's worth it if you can move well. So take that time, if anything, just 15 minutes. All right, so there's the calf. Okay, now another thing I like to do is roll the foot out. So you can do that standing or sitting. I got a chair, so I'm gonna sit. And I had this cool little roller my brother had given me. It actually came with a different foam roller. It's by Rogue Fitness. I'm not affiliated with them, but it's really nice. So if you can, get a little foot roller. If you don't have a foot roller, get a golf ball. So, and for time's sake, we can do 2 golf balls. But I do want to focus and make sure that I'm getting. So we're going to go about 45 seconds here. Go 30 to 90 seconds. And you're looking for the tender spot. Now I got a heel spur again on both these. So I like to kind of roll into the heel. But you also want to get into the arch. Okay, the arch and other parts of the foot. And you can definitely do it standing. All right. Ooh. Standing is kind of nice too because you really hit different spots. Now get the arch. Don't forget the arch. Now with the little apparatus I have, all you gotta do is forward and back. With the golf ball, I try to hit different parts and just move around differently. All right, let's go about 10 more seconds. I started focusing mostly on that right foot. All right, and if you have a spot you want to hold into, so I do like to hold into that heel spur spot. It's very sensitive. Or even your arch will hold both. So I'm holding into the heel spur. And you might notice, you may or may not notice, my toes are spread. So the idea is we want to open up the toes. All right. So that brings me to the next part. Is I have a cool little tool. It looks like a painful tool, but it's really nice. And it's nice for applying icy hot, or I got this Tiger Balm Active. You can be very careful with this. I feel like I got some third-degree burns with this. And I'll just put it like a tiny bit onto they call it, some people call it a scraper. All right, and I generally will do this part after soaking. So I'll get into my arch, and you definitely need a little bit of something like some oil or some kind of something to put on the foot for it to flow easily. Try not to get it on the foot, on the hands. All right, and then we go up the front of that ankle. Sometimes we forget that the front of that ankle is, you store some tension there, and especially if you've hurt your feet. I didn't realize how much has to do with your dorsiflexion. So that's bringing your toe up towards the calf, which can affect how you walk, how you step, up and down steps, and you go up the sides of the calf too. Because again, if you got some calf pain, you're gonna feel it. And you see if you can get the foot, and I'll really, really dig in. And I should have did the toes before I went into all this icy hot, but we're gonna do it. All right, so keep my foot there. In fact, keep my foot in my shoes so I don't get icy hot on my mats. All right. Again, this is not icy hot. It's Tiger Balm Active, and it is very intense. So like I said, just a little dab. All right. And so if I need more smoothness, more, for lack of a better word, lubrication on this scraper, I'll put a little baby oil with that icy hot, so that I don't have to put a lot of it itself. I can just put a dab of the icy hot or Tiger Balm and scrape it all around. So again, I usually would do this after soaking, so I'm not gonna soak with you guys because that sounds silly. One thing I did the other day is soak my feet in ice water, and I hated it. And really, it was just my husband's leftover ice water because I can't take all the ice; it's too much. So initially, it really was painful, and I just felt like I couldn't take the ice, the cold water. It's really, really cold water with some ice in it, and eventually. So I took my feet out pretty quickly, but then a couple more times I would dip my feet in, and after a little while it got a little more bearable. But I had done that after a really long hike in the woods, so my feet were just battered, and it was really, really helpful. I was able to walk pretty well later. All right, so we used the scraper, we got really into the foot, so the idea is massage the foot, massage the calves. All right, another thing, open the toes. So, I feel like I should get closer to the mirror for this. I'll open up the toes. All right, and you put your fingers in between your toes. Okay, let me get a different seat so I can be a little higher here. But we put the fingers in between the toes, and I have toe spreaders as well. So they have nice durable toe spreaders. All right, so I've kind of gotten used to it. See if you can get the fingers through the toes, and you're gonna give it, first of all, some circles. All right, and honestly, if you're sitting on another foam roller, then now I've got a little glute massage there too. So circle the foot. All right, and then we take it up. So toes up towards the face. Maybe switch your hand. Keep the fingers in between the toes. There's some kind of separation. Toes towards the face. So let's go ahead and I'm going to switch my hand position, pulling that toe towards the shin. You can definitely do this standing. You don't have to be sitting on the floor. Just want to stay in one spot. All right. We'll go to the other foot. All right. Open the toes. See if you can get those fingers in between the toes. Okay. And again, we're going to go for those circles. All right. Feeling little things pop, especially in this one. Like I said, that little arch pain there. All right. And then we take it up and down. Don't forget, down is good as well. And when we're on the down position, I'm gonna go back here, we can take that scraper and really get into the front of the ankle. Okay? And then we'll pull the toes towards the shin. And I'll just clasp my foot here, pulling that toe towards the shin. Yeah, let's go 3, 2, and 1. And then you can play with the toes a little. So I got my big toe out. I'm going to separate it. And then I'm going to take my second toe, separate, pull it down while I pull my other toes up. I'll take my third toe down, fourth, and this looks like you went all the way, mark it, pinky toe. All right, and we'll do that other side. Okay, so all toes first towards the shin, then big toe down, little toes up, then second toe down while the other toes are up, third toe down, then fourth, and pinky toe. Okay, I'm going to show you 1 or 2 more stretches I might do for the top of the foot as well. So I like to have toes down and lean back a little bit. Just be careful. I tend to get a little cramp on the bottom of the foot. All right, and then we can toes up, and then think about heels down. Now this one you press into the wall. You don't have to press into the wall, but the idea is calf stretch and that ankle dorsiflexion where it's coming up. Dorsiflexion, like a dorsal fin on a dolphin. And then you can lean back, keeping the heel to the floor. Good. All right, we're gonna take the other way. So leaning in, and I can't see my face too well, but more about what's going on with the legs. All right, leaning in. So this would be the wall stretch. You can hold on to the wall. And then you can bend, trying to keep that heel down. So you got a little less flexion in this foot. Along with all that, so the other day, like I said, finished doing something hard, it's good to get in some cold water. Maybe you can't do ice water. Ice water, it's intense. But you can work yourself up to it, or just get some really cold water. But then I also, maybe not within the same setting, but I also play with warm water too. And usually when I'm going to use the scraper and give myself a nice massage, that's where I go warm water first, get all the blood to the area, get that area nice and warm, and then I'll do the scraping. Again, you might not do this all at once. If anything, maybe start the morning foot roll with the ball or the foot roller. Foot roll and calf. So since I read in the morning, I'll just sit, like I said, sit up on my couch and roll my calves out. And then later on, usually after work, I might soak for a bit. So hot soaks, cold soaks, all good for you. Cold soaks will reduce inflammation. Hot soak will make you relaxed. So try these tips. I hope they help out. And just remember, it takes a little time, but just like we put time into our exercise, let's put time into recovery so that we can exercise more. Because if you're hurting, you're not going to want to exercise. And if you're wanting and needing to exercise, don't let exercise be the boss. Your body's the boss. And we work it out. And let's get the body feeling good so that we can do the things we want to do.
much.